Very cool. There we go.
All right. Hello, this is Mark Viquez, the regional correspondent for the website Stadium Journey, the industry's leader in sports travel and reviews. This is the Ballpark Hunter podcast. And with me today is a very special guest, Sam Cockwell of the Falkland Islands Hockey Association. That's right, I said Falkland Islands. Some of you haven't heard of that name. Maybe a little over 40 years ago, it was a big deal. But Sam, we're going to talk about hockey, not baseball today. So thank you for being on the show.
Hey, it's a delight. It was great to hear from you, and I'm always happy to talk about hockey. And it's always exciting to bring it to a potentially new audience.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think I came across. I was just, I have a mind. I like to go on Google Maps and I like to look at different countries around the world. And when I was a kid, I used to go to went to Argentina about 3 times, and I always was fascinated about this piece of England territory, right offside, about 300 miles away from the southern tip of Argentina. And I was just doing some research, and I saw this hockey jersey with the Rockhopper logo, a penguin. I'm like, that looks like the old Jersey Rockhopper logo from the Federal Hockey League. Did some research, posted on Twitter, and this leads to you now having a conversation. So that is the logo. That is the logo. And you're going to tell us, how did you get that logo for your hockey?
That's right.
There it is. For those
of you we started. There we go. Representing the latest shirt. So we went through we've been around since about 2006, originally playing floor hockey, deck hockey. And we went through a process when we started to take on inline in about 2015. We went through a process of kind of going, okay, well, we want to go and compete, and we kind of need a club logo and that sort of thing. And so one of the guys who was a hockey fan from tiny kid, he found this. He said, "Oh, I found the perfect logo, but it belongs to this team." And he reached out to them, to the Jersey Rockhoppers, who had been, I think they played 2003, 2004, or something like that.
Oh,
no. Last year practically, and so we were reached out to him, and Ron, who owned the club and had set up the logo back in the day, had said he was just thrilled with the idea that the logo would get to live on with like a national team behind it. He was like, he was absolutely thrilled, and he's been really, really cool about it, and really, really good guy. And so it kind of feels like, oh, maybe we should have done our own thing, but it was too good to pass up, right? I mean, it's pretty much the perfect hockey logo.
Well, I mean, the logo lives on, and actually they folded in 2009, so not that long ago. But
2009. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just 2000. I think it was 03, but then again, there's things I'm thinking about, like, wow, that was 20 years ago, so I wouldn't be surprised. But here's the thing, and I think I told you before we got on the show, they were based out of West Orange, New Jersey, which is outside New York City, so it's in that metropolitan market. And the zoo, the local zoo there, had a Rockhopper exhibit of penguins. So that's why they had the name. I don't know if it was picked by fans. And they played at the old practice facility of the New Jersey Devils NHL team. And they just were never a big hit. Yeah, they were never a big hit. And unfortunately, in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan market, when you introduce one of these smaller leagues, they wind up folding rather quickly. So it's nice to know that this logo lives on. It hasn't died. People are wearing it around Stanley and other parts of the islands. So I think it's a great story. It lives on. Like the Detroit Red Wings logo, I think was based off the Montreal Winged Wheelers. I think that was a football team, if I recall right. So that logo lives.
I mean, the Winged Wheelers makes sense. Right, yeah. The Red Wings logo is a bit like what's the wheel all about? Because it's Detroit.
The Winged Wheelers. That's what the team was called. And if you go to the Falkland Islands, you have Rockhoppers, correct? Are they abundant? Is that
we do thousands of them? Yeah,
thousands. Are they
lots and lots of them?
Are they isolated in a certain part, or do you see them walking around town?
You don't see them around town actually. There's some colonies quite near town, but a lot of rockhoppers are on like quite small isolated islands, so
Yeah,
they're not always easy to get to. But we have lots of penguins near town, a different type.
yeah,
But yeah, it's yeah we have a lot of penguins.
yeah. No, that's
Sea lions
fascinating.
also. We could have definitely done something with sea lions, but penguins just the four penguins. It's a thing. It's a trope, So
Oh, no, no. People love penguins. I have, my little nephew when he got a stuffed penguin, he loves them. I have a friend, her son just is fascinated with every type of species of penguin, and he can identify
yeah,
each penguin by looking at them. And it's when
awesome.
penguins come to the zoo up here in Indianapolis, I mean, everybody's lined up to see them. We just love the
Yeah.
fascination. But these
The
guys,
weird thing is, when I go to a zoo in like the States or in the UK or wherever, and they've got a penguin exhibit, I always go and look, and I just think, what am I doing? Like, I
yeah,
can see these anywhere.
yeah,
But it's because you can see them underwater, which is cool. Like, you don't
yeah.
get to see that very often.
No, no,
That's a
you're
cool. That's a
absolutely
cool.
right. You're
Cool thing to
absolutely
see.
right. So you have some colonies of penguins near town. Do they interact with humans, or they kind of keep to themselves?
They honestly, most of our wildlife doesn't care about humans. It's kind of we're in a weird situation where a lot of the wildlife here is like ecologically naive, is a term, and basically they didn't evolve with humans. They didn't develop. Like humans have only been in the Falklands since like the 1500s,
Hmm.
so like they haven't really evolved it. So a lot of them just don't care. You can just sort of walk past them and they kind of look at you and go, "Oh yeah, okay," and that's kind of it. They
Yeah.
don't really see you as a threat. As long as you're not threatening like towards them, they just don't care, and they'll
Oh
just
wow.
like
Yeah.
if you
Oh,
go near a colony, like there's a limit to how close you can go. But quite often, if you stand near a colony and you're by yourself or just a couple of you, they'll come up to you and check
yeah.
you out and like peck at your shoes and just yeah, it's cool. It's very cool.
Yeah. That's fascinating. You just because also when I was a kid, I would always hear about how parts of southern Argentina and Chile would have penguins, and they would come up on the beach, and you get to kind of see them. And it's like, oh, I want to do that.
Oh
I want
yeah,
to see.
sure.
I want to see penguins. So it's I don't know. We could talk about
Well, you should
penguins
come
all day
visit.
long. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But
Yeah,
let's
not
get it.
Pittsburgh Penguins though, huh?
Yeah, all Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah, no, I tell you, it's I'm a New Jersey Devils guy. That's the team I root for.
Sure,
Don't hate the
of course,
Penguins,
of course.
but I hear Penguin fans from Pittsburgh that travel to different arenas are just like some of the rudest people. Like they just come
I
in.
hear that. I guess.
You hear that Montreal. I hear a lot. It's funny when you talk hockey in certain cities. Oh yeah, these people, Pittsburgh, Montreal, they travel, and when they come into town, they just are just, not they're pricks. They just give you a hard time.
Yeah,
You just want them
yeah,
out of there.
totally.
Nashville, Tennessee. Everybody goes to Nashville to see hockey because it's cheap,
Yeah.
it's easy to get to. Nashville's becoming this like destination Vegas type of city, and you'll at a
Oh
time,
yeah, cool.
yeah, you would go to an arena and you see half of the Nashville fans and half of Chicago, St. Louis, Detroit fans. It was that. It
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
but since we're talking about hockey, what I didn't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's not an ice rink on the
That's
Falklands.
right.
It's everything's on the
Yeah,
floor.
sad face.
Is all
That's right. Yeah.
that's fascinating. You guys play tournaments in the America in in South America and North America, yet you don't have an ice rink. Uh, how's that
Yeah.
possible? How are you able to compete in these tournaments?
So it's partly it's just stubbornness and
Yeah.
not accepting that we can't. I think just want to go and have a good time. But we play inline in a at the moment we're playing in a gymnasium, a school gymnasium, but we're part of the National Sports Council, and we're here and we're just building a new facility which is going to be a multi-use games arena, and we're building within that a rink, and it'll be an inline rink part of the year and a synthetic ice rink the other part of the year.
Oh,
So we will soon have ice to within a given quantity
yeah.
of quality of ice. But it's kind of a compromise because it's a multi-use games thing. But yeah, so we'll soon have a rink, not quite full size, but a lot bigger than we have now. So that will change our game quite a lot. But the way we play inline predominantly, and the way we've based it is around we don't play like classic inline rules. We play more like ice hockey on skates. So our rules are more similar to be feel if you're watching. I mean, we play 3-on-3 in a smaller space,
Mm-hmm.
but you wouldn't find our rules unfamiliar. We have to play penalties kind of differently because we don't have penalty boxes and stuff. So we have to kind of work it out. But yeah, soon we'll be going to a much more traditional like rule environment, which will I think help our game. But yeah, I mean we go away and we go away early. We spend maybe a week, 10 days converting to ice, doing new drills and kind of working on stopping. Mostly is the key one. That's
Yeah,
quite
no, I
tricky.
agree.
But yeah, I mean, because we skate a lot and we train hard on inlines, like we're usually pretty skate fit, so it seems to work out okay on the whole. The thing we're not used to, and has caught us out this year when we went away, we found ourselves not using the space very well. So we found if you watch us play in Miami, a lot of our teams that went away, especially the younger guys and our senior team too, we played very much in the center, like up and down the ice, kind of in a very narrow lane. We didn't use our wings properly, which was where we kind of got opened up. It's like we were playing a man down all the time, like we were playing a penalty kill the whole time, trying to protect the center, and we didn't need to do that. So yeah, there's swings and roundabouts, but yeah, we make it work. We make it work.
Yeah. And then you said you played up in Miami in the Leckham Cup. Is that what it's called?
The Latam Cup, yeah.
Yeah, the Latham Cup. What is that? I'm not familiar. What that's an invitation to youth hockey that just plays in the tournament?
Yeah, so it's run by a guy called Juan Carlos. His company Amerigo run the tournament, and it was all born out of basically a tournament for non-traditional hockey nations in Latin America. So it's everyone from like Mexico southwards, basically. So we first went in 2019 for when they hosted it in the Ice Den, or started hosting it in the Ice Den in Miami, the Panthers training facility, and yeah, it was a great tournament. Like you get teams traveling from all over the Americas. Joining in, and like it was everything. The first time we went there was a youth division, which was under 20s, and then senior division, two senior divisions, and then this last year we had an under 12s team, an under 16s team, an under 20s. We took a senior team, so yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, we happened to get invited to that because some mutual friend or contact through our head coach is a former professional player from the UK. Okay. He sort of grew up a bit here, moved to the UK, played professionally there, played under 21 for Team GB. So he's got a lot of contacts and just ended up being invited, and we went along and had a great time.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it. What other, I also heard that there's other tournaments. Like my dad's from Costa Rica. I heard you guys played in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
And really, whereabouts in Costa Rica is there a hockey rink? I need to know this. I know it's been a while since I've been back, but I never knew I never knew Ticos were playing hockey. This is shocking.
Yeah, I know, right? It's weird when you find out people playing hockey in these places. But I didn't make the Costa Rica tour, sadly. We just had my son, and he was very small, so I couldn't go. But yeah, it was in a country club or something. There was a little ice rink playing like 3-on-3 again. It was an awesome time. Again, we had people come from all over. Some friends of ours and people who'd lived here came and joined in, and
nice.
Yeah, like as a club, it was cool, really good to play. And we played I think the teams were mixed too, which was quite nice. So kind of older teenagers and ladies and men together. So it was, non-checking and stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean that's kind of what we play. That's what we play here. We play a mixed league.
Yeah, I was reading your roles. Yeah, I saw mix, which is we use the term co-ed. So I'm like, okay, that's what they mean. And I play adult sports and we play co-ed. I play a game called kickball. I don't think you guys play that down in the islands, do you?
I don't think so.
It's like baseball, but you kick a red rubber ball instead of hitting a ball. A lot of fun.
Okay.
A lot of fun. I think
I'd get on board.
when you guys aren't playing, I would love for you to introduce kickball to the island. I think a lot of people would get into that. If they want to do something else besides hockey, it's if you're outside. But I wind up breaking my pinky finger playing kickball. I went and caught a line drive,
Oh,
and it bent my finger. And
oh yeah, sure. And just like hit it on.
yeah,
Yeah.
But I can bend it back now, but I still have a little bit of pain. So it can be a little dangerous.
Oh, was that recently?
Yeah, it was in July. It was mid-July.
Oh no!
And
Damn.
as soon as I caught it, I'm like, oh, I knew I did something. I thought maybe it just needed to be put in a splint. Nope, needed an operation. And I needed pins in it.
Oh no!
I had metal pins.
Oh, so really broken.
Yeah, it was really it was this little tiny joint that just got disintegrated. And it's a red rubber ball. It's not. And we're playing a team of folks that really weren't into kickball, but that one person just hit the ball a certain way and
just clipped it. Just
clipped
right.
it. I had a cast, a full cast, a small cast for about 2 months.
Like a finger cast.
Yeah, it was a finger cast. It wasn't fun, but just about a week ago, I was able to bend it back like that. So it was like at one time I was only able to do that. So yeah, pretty serious.
Oh, hey, it's healing. That's good.
It's healing, and so my wife says maybe you should retire. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna be playing until I'm at least in my 50s. So that's
a career ender. A career ender.
Yeah, I said once I hit 50 in a few years, I'll quit. But but more about you. How did you get involved? I know you didn't start. Were you part of it from the beginning, or were you playing this elsewhere and you picked it up here? Tell me a little bit about your background. Have you been on the island your whole life?
So no, I'm new to hockey completely. Like I was kind of an outdoor kind of guy. Like I was into surfing when I was younger quite a bit, and like rock climbing and mountaineering and stuff. That kind of vibe. And I moved back. I'd been in the UK for university and stuff, and got into that sort of thing. And then I eventually moved back here for a job. And my boss at the time was a Canadian guy called Craig, and he said, "Oh, hey, this is in like 2010, so the club had been going like 4 years. I kind of heard of it and stuff, but hadn't really seen much of it. And that was playing deck hockey, so that's just like street hockey effectively. So he just did trainers and stuff, and shin pads and gloves if you want them. And so he said, "Hey, you should come along." And I was like, "Well, I don't know. I mean, it's only my thing and whatever." He said, "No, come along." And I went along, and that was it. I went along to one game, and I was like, "Oh, I love this!" And straight away, I was like, "Okay, yeah." And so I played deck hockey for how long would that be? Like 4 years, I guess, 3 years, and then I went back to university in the UK. We did a master's degree, and then came back in would have been 2013, 2014, played another season of deck, and then we started playing inline. I have literally never roller skated a day in my life to this point. I had once at a roller disco and literally lasted about 12 seconds. And then I was like, no, roller skating is not for me. No. I can't do it. I'm too tall, heavy, too big, too whatever, like loads of excuses. And Grant, our head coach, who's the guy who was an ex-pro, said to me, he said, "Look, if you can walk, you can skate. I can teach anybody to skate. If you can walk, you can do it." And I was like, yeah, whatever. So I got a pair of skates anyway and tried it. And literally, I was being dragged around like with a stick like this, like not even like basically like a giant. So he had to behave like a giant penguin for me for going around like on rollerblades. And it was like that for like
the training,
a couple of weeks. Training, yeah. Spent a lot of time on my knees. But literally from that first moment of like, it was a bit like starting to play hockey. At first moment playing hockey, I was like, okay, I really like this. And then that moment when I got onto rollerblades, I was like, oh wow, I absolutely love this. And I just fell in love with rollerblading. And then as a result of that, oh hey there.
Trying to jump off the bed. I'm like, why can't you just chill? But
oh wow, what's her name?
She's a Yorkshire Terrier.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But it's like we have a high bed and I didn't have the staircase on there, and She
Oh, sure. Yeah, you don't want to
she
leave it
hears
off.
cars driving by and she thinks it's my wife, so she has to go investigate. So I'm like, don't jump. We don't need you. We don't need you breaking a leg. Okay.
No, yeah, that's a bad day. I love
No.
how everything's swiveled with you. Then that's a cool setup.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I
This is not the
imagine
first.
this like very cool
Yeah.
airing system where you've got like everything coming around with you. It's very cool.
I did that at another podcast. I wasn't supposed to be on the podcast, but somebody said, "Hey, you want to come on?" And I'm like, "Sure." And as I'm talking to them, I noticed that I didn't have my plug and my battery was dying, so I had to like lift up the table and run down the stairs with it all while I'm talking. So I'm getting kind of used to it. Getting kind of used to it. It's kind of my little trademark. You just see things flipping around in the
Yeah,
back and things of that nature. So you learned. How long did it take you to
yeah.
become proficient on a pair of skates?
I mean, hey, when are you ever fully good at anything?
Okay, but you feel
I mean,
comfortable.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a good skater now. Like I'm a
Yeah,
good skater now, but
that's all that
it
matters.
took me. I guess a couple of years to become really competent. Like it was hard, and like that was a lot of off ice training as well. So I was training. I was like, we just moved into a new house that had a nice cul-de-sac road, so like an enclosed road, so no through traffic. So I was able to
Yeah, I
practice
live on
there
a
all the time.
cul-de-sac. It's beautiful.
That's amazing, right? And so I put in. I put in oh weeks and weeks and weeks of training to become barely proficient. And so, but no, fell in love with it, and now I skate regularly. Like, my friend of mine and I, we're training for a skateathon here. So we're arranging a charity fundraising
Great.
thing for the club. We're going to skate from the airport to the town, which is like 50 kilometers. Um, but there's basically that's all going to be like up these big hills and stuff. So that's all pretty exciting.
I
And
can
we're
imagine.
working towards that. But no,
Well,
again, so yeah, like now I'm a good skater, but that's
yeah.
like
Well,
7 years ago or whatever.
well, yeah. I can tell you when I was in high school, the same thing with me. I would play deck hockey at. We had a club, so a bunch of friends would get together. We would make jerseys, make up teams, and we would play in the gymnasium of our high school. And we did it after school. We may have a game or two per week, and we would play in a tournament. Uh, we called it floor hockey, but yeah, it's the same thing. Deck
Yeah,
hockey, and then some of us would play roller hockey. We would get on inline skates, and I started doing that. And I would practice at the park, and somebody came up to me and he's like, "Hey, do you have like a broomstick or a hockey stick? You should kind of skate with that to get the feeling, because you're kind of skating a
yeah,
little
to get the rhythm.
yeah, get a rhythm. You're skating very stiff, like Frankenstein, get into a rhythm." So I started doing that. And, I was getting the hang of it. But then, I graduated high school. All the people that I was playing floor hockey with, we just kind of disbanded. And I just kind of stopped. It was just something you didn't do anymore. And I kind of hate that. I'd love to
Yeah,
be on a pair of blades and skating around town. That'd be great exercise. Playing a little hockey. I don't
it's
know.
awesome exercise.
Yeah, no, it's great. And that's one thing I really was looking into is like I hate like I just cancel my membership to a local gym because I just don't make the effort to go there. I just don't want to
Yeah,
run in place for 20 minutes or an hour. I'd rather be rolling around, my neighborhood on a pair of skates.
yeah, exactly. And like my wife is really she's a physiotherapist, so she's very keen on fitness and stuff, and which is
Nice.
great and very sporty. She goes running a couple of times a week. I can't. I used to run, and I just can't bother now. It's
That's
too
something
horrible. I
else.
mean, it
I
hurts.
like
It hurts my
walking.
knees, and
Yeah, I like
yeah,
walking.
yeah. I mean, I just running makes me hurt too much now.
Yeah,
I'm not getting too old. I just don't like it. I'm too
yeah,
big for running, I think.
yeah. No, there's
But
some
she
people,
goes to the gym like 3 times a week. She goes to the gym, and I'm just like,
and she
I
loves
just
it.
haven't got. Yeah,
Does she
yeah.
go there early in the morning or does she do it after work?
She quite often goes over lunchtime. So
Oh,
there's kind of a few of them that go over lunch. Because we have such a small town, you can do stuff like that.
yeah,
Like we come home for lunch. Like yeah, that's normal.
yeah. Well, actually,
Like
the way
commuters a
yes,
2 minute walk.
yes, yeah, yeah. No, that's great. I'm a school teacher. I have about 2 hours off in the day because of our new schedule. So
Oh, cool.
I could come home too for lunch. And one day, sometime, a
Yeah.
couple times I did that. I was like, "Oh, this is kind of a nice feeling. You can come home for lunch," and so but apparently that's done. That's
No,
very common.
it's good.
That's a little more common in Stanley, correct?
Yeah, I mean, the longest commute you could possibly have is about 3 miles.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and that's going to be hard going. Like that's I don't know. Oh no, okay. Well, I know one guy who does that. But he always goes home for lunch too. Like he just
Yeah.
drives home.
Well, that takes you
But no,
back to
it's
elementary school when you go home for lunch and you come back. Those were the days. Mom would
I
have
know.
something.
Yeah, it feels very like it's a good life. You know, it's a good life.
Yeah, no, it sounds like. And I was doing some research. It's pretty much no crime at all.
Oh
In
yeah, not
nothing.
really. Like
You leave
I
your
mean,
doors unlocked.
if you ask, yeah, sure. You ask me where my car keys are
Where are your car keys in the car?
in my car
Yeah.
in the
Oh.
ignition. Yeah.
No, not
Same
me.
as everyone else, I would point out. Like,
Oh wow.
literally, there's a guy I knew. They were doing some work down the road from me, and he's a cement like a roadwork guy, and he parked just over the end of my drive, and so I couldn't get out of the car. And I was like, should I go and say something to him and get him to move his car? And I was like, no, I'll just move it. So I just hopped in his car and like reversed it a few feet.
Yeah,
And
you just hopped in his car.
jumped out, and I was like, and then then I got in my car and drove. And I was like, oh, Melvin, I had to move your car like a couple of feet. And he's like, oh, okay, is it still there? And I was like, yeah, it's all still fine. He's like, oh, right, okay, yeah, no worries. It was like, all right, see you later.
Yeah, that's a great story because it's funny. There's people, small town Indiana. There are people that leave their keys in their car because it's safe. You know, you're an hour from the main interstate. There's nothing going on. Some people do that, but I'm hearing stories now where some local kids come in, steal stuff out of your car, like your iPhone,
Yeah.
or your you leave your purse or money in the car, which is not smart. But I can imagine if somebody goes to Stanley to steal things, they'll probably be caught. You're going to know who it is.
Well, where are they going to go?
Where are they going to go?
Like, where are they going to go? You do occasionally get it. Like you get little bits of stuff like that, but normally it's someone who's got some other kind of stuff going on, and they've been like taking weird stuff, like pairs of boots and out of your porch and stuff, like weird nothing that's got any real value.
Yeah,
they're just doing it for whatever the thing is. And there's a couple of people like that, but like, I mean, there was a guy years ago. He's dead now, but
he passed away.
He was notorious for it. And he would go and steal like one shoe.
Yeah, he was just. He sounds like he was just messing with us.
I just think he loved the thrill of like taking like the kind of prank of it, maybe. But he was like, they found him and he had all these things, like one bits of things and then one bit of stuff. He wasn't doing it for any reason. Like it wasn't like he got a kick out of it. He just couldn't help himself.
Okay.
He was a nice guy, He was a good guy. Just like had this switch in his head that was not wiring not quite right, or
guy goes steal a pair of boots from somebody's home. Okay, well, how about that?
Yeah, and like I remember, it wasn't. I'm trying to think. I was at someone's house and he came in thinking no one was there, and we went, "Oh, all right," and he went, "Oh, hi," and then shut the door and left. We were like, "All right, saved your shoes."
And I bet people got used to that. Oh, that's just so and so coming in the house. He means no harm.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So yeah, we do get a bit of that. So yeah, like, but realistically, we live in an amazingly safe place. Like it's like my son. We've got quite a big yard, and he just plays outside, and like he's quite young still, but like in not very long at all, he'll be walking to school, and it'll just be like he'll just like disappear for a couple of hours, and it'd be like when I was a kid, we used to just disappear off to the park, and like I'd be gone for a few hours, and then turn up at home eventually when I got hungry, and that was just like normal.
That's kind of how it was in many parts of the United States and maybe even England. Not too long ago, you go out, like even when I was a kid, you go out and play in the 1980s, you go out and play at the park, football or baseball with your friends for about a couple hours. You came home. Now the kids, I'm a high school teacher, so when I talk to kids, they don't go out, they stay inside. The parents have phones, are always worried about them. So you definitely live in a very unique part of the world where you can do these things. It's not like that.
It is
other spots.
Oh, it totally is, and we really appreciate it, and it's one of the that's probably one of the biggest draws for here is that community kind of vibe and everything. But hey, we might only be 300 miles from the mainland of South America, but in terms of like getting here and getting stuff done, and even like trying to get things to here, sometimes it feels like we're on the dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
Like I think it's genuinely easier to put a rocket in space than it is to get stuff to the Falklands sometimes.
Oh wow. So like,
Um,
what are some things that are hard to
it's
get there?
Oh, like Amazon parcels, forget it. Like
Oh,
unless you like ship them with like DHL or someone, like you pay like 30 £30 or like $40 for the shipping of a book, like forget it.
so
Or
there's not
weirdly, it might
there's
just
no
turn up.
Amazon. Is there no Amazon on Falklands? They have to go through DHL.
Yeah, yeah. So it would come from the UK or Europe or the States.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got no like repository here. So there's that, like anything like that, like mail order stuff. Weirdly, some places come straight through. Like there's a sports store that I use that sells like trainers and sports kit and stuff, and a hockey store that I use as well. All their stuff absolutely fine. Normal shipping just appears in the mail. Other stuff can be missing for literally months, and then all of a sudden it'll appear.
Uh,
It's honestly shipping like stuff like that is just bizarre.
yeah.
So
No, you're
you get
right.
very used to ordering stuff like 3 months in advance in case it doesn't turn up.
No, I hear
So
you.
so that we start planning for Christmas in like August,
No, I don't
which is
blame you.
it's
I
just
don't
like
blame
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and there's no fast food or chain restaurants or anything, correct? It's all local mom and pop
Yeah,
for the most part.
that's
Like
right.
there's no
I was trying
McDonald's or
to think then. I was
Starbucks.
like, is there anything? No, no, nothing like that. No, there's at the airport there is a Costa Coffee, which is a UK chain,
Okay,
like a franchise. But it's run really badly. It's terrible.
that's too
It's
bad.
it sucks. It's
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, Costa's like it's Costa Coffee's all right. Like it's not as good as Starbucks. It's kind of a middle of the road,
yeah.
popular high street coffee shop. But yeah, the one at the airfield is terrible. Like it's just yeah. I'm pretty sure I've been served instant coffee there before. In fact, I'm
Oh,
certain.
no way. And you could tell, I
It's
mean,
like guys,
you could tell instant
like,
coffee. I mean, I drink one. I never drank coffee until I started teaching, and I was told it's like, yeah, you're
oh
gonna
yeah,
be drinking coffee. I'm like, now whatever. Now I carry like a reusable mug because I drink so much coffee that I go through all these like paper. I make coffee in the morning for me and the wife. I buy nice coffee, not cheap stuff. I mean, I go to the supermarket, you get all sorts of
sure.
coffee and instant coffee. I was in Los Angeles and we were staying at a B&B. I have an airfield near me, so if you hear some planes, that's common. Yeah, we stayed at a B&B and they only had instant coffee and I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. It was horrible. I couldn't believe how bad it was, but apparently some people make good instant coffee. I just haven't had it yet one day.
Yeah, I mean, here we go through droughts of stuff here, food wise. Like so, I'm trying to think what it was. A few years ago, we ran out of bread flour, so you couldn't buy fresh bread. You couldn't make your own bread unless you made like wholemeal and stuff, which
Yeah.
you could. But like we ran out of flour one time. We ran out of milk. Right at the start of COVID, we ran out of milk twice.
My goodness.
So there was like a milk rationing on in the supermarket. You couldn't buy more than like 1 liter of milk at a time.
How long did that
Um,
last for?
only like a month.
Oh, okay, not too.
Because it was just that there'd been because of the whole upset of shipping and stuff. There was
Yeah.
basically just like a hiccup in all the so whatever it was the monthly ship that month, like a load of the containers missed it, so it didn't end up like
Okay.
nothing arrived. So we get short of stuff. So you do find that, and like sometimes you can't buy weird stuff, like you can't buy soy sauce 1 month because it just run out.
Just run.
Everywhere's run out, and it's like oh okay, and all you can do is be like well oh okay.
Yeah, that was always fascinating me because like in the airport, if you're flying in from Argentina, it's once a week, correct? Or England's once a week. I mean, how many flights come in?
So yeah, England. There's a flight from England twice a week. So that's flying from an RAF airbase in Oxfordshire, and then there's a flight from Punta Arenas in Chile
Yeah, put that in.
once a week. We did have a flight just before COVID happened. We started a new flight direct to Sao Paulo, which was
Okay.
really good. But then, as a result of COVID, obviously that's all died a death. But we're hoping that's going to come back fairly soon because that's a perfect hub flight for us because you get Sao Paulo, you can basically get anywhere.
Miami, yeah.
Whereas, well, anywhere in the world, pretty much, yeah, but Miami exactly. But then But if we fly to Punta Arenas, it's probably one of the few places that is as isolated as here.
Yeah.
Slightly less, but almost as isolated as here. So it's like it doesn't actually improve anything much. You're still like you're actually flying further away from most places before you go to Punta.
No, no. When I was a kid, we traveled. We like I said, I've been to Argentina 3 times, and I think one time we just spent time in Buenos Aires in the north, another time down south, and
Yeah.
Punta Arenas was one of the places we went to, and
Oh, Chile,
yeah,
it's
it
cool.
was
It's a cool town.
yeah, and then we hit Chile, and and then we hit Montevideo. I mean, I've been all over South America,
Yeah.
to most of the countries, with the exception of a few. Haven't been to Ecuador or Peru, which everybody I know loves going to Peru now. So I got my
It's the place to be.
share of it as a kid.
We might actually be playing a hockey tournament in Ecuador at some stage. There's a small hockey team there. They've got an ice rink, and they're really keen for us to go and play there one day. So
That's awesome.
yeah, we're hoping to head up there. Maybe next year. I think we're going to try and organize that.
Okay. So how many tournaments do you get out to normally? I know COVID, we're coming off COVID, so perhaps you don't have a good number, but
Yeah.
like once a year, twice a year?
Pretty much once a year. So I mean, the flight out of here is expensive. So this year we basically did 2 back to back. So we went to Punta Arenas, which is there's a small ice rink there, and that's kind of like our regional. There's a regional tournament there like every year. That's kind of our local, like international sort of semi-international tournament. And then we then go from there to another tournament. It's been the LATAM Cup the last couple of years. But there's other options for us to go to other places as well. So we're always looking at what other ways to kind of grow the sport a bit and get more people playing and kind of spreading the hockey love around the place.
Yeah, I
Like,
never thought
people
that.
are,
Yeah, never. I mean, how many people play hockey? How many kids do you have sign up from? Is it from 12 to what age? 18, 19?
oh, we play from pretty much the real little leagues. So we
Okay.
play like a pee wee league that is like pretty much 5 to
5 years old.
6
Okay,
and 5 to 8.
Get them started early.
There's not many play at 5. Like it picks up like early ages. A couple start early and then go from there. But we have 100 122 members players last year, and that's across like 5 divisions. So that was like so there's like 4 youth divisions up to like an elite league, which is your older teenagers stuff, and quite a few of them will be playing also in the senior league. So that's where our adults and then players are kind of again a mixed. They're all mixed leagues right the way through. So mixed age, or not mixed age so much. It's kind of it is age based, but kind of age and ability based.
No, I understand. Yeah,
and then we have and like with the kids also like physicality is quite important in hockey. So like we play non-checking because it's mixed and stuff, and various other reasons. But even with playing a lighter contact hockey is a contact sport. So like when there's a couple of kids, we've had to bump up the table basically into the next league because they're just too big and too strong. They might not necessarily be the most refined on the puck and stuff, but it's like, you're just too big for those people now. It's embarrassing.
I hear. Now, do any of these kids grow up and play hockey at college, or have they advanced?
Yeah.
Other.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got one guy. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I spoke over you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying, has like what are some of your graduates? Are they playing in Europe? Are they playing in somewhere in Canada, the U.S.?
So yeah, we had the first of our like young players to do that was a kid called Malachi Budd. He's a cracking young player, really really good. He went to play in Utah for the Vernal Oilers. He was there for a season. He's now playing in the UK now while he's doing his like diploma, I think, and or his HND, and he's now playing for, I want to say Peterborough, but I've got a feeling that's wrong.
Okay, we'll look him up.
That's really bad. I should know that. We've got another couple of kids who are now at university, and they're playing in their university teams. But Malachi's one of the oldest, and he's playing like professional hockey now,
That's
which is
that's great.
absolutely awesome.
So that can
Yeah,
happen.
it's really really cool.
Yeah, you could start
Yeah,
off
yeah,
playing hockey here, and then here you are playing, somewhere around the world. So that's
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. I can't remember where Vernal what league that was in. The Vernal Oilers. I think it was a Can-Am league. Was what it was called. But yeah, I mean, hey, I don't know if any of our players will ever make it to the NHL, or even the AHL. Who knows?
I mean,
Um,
yeah, I mean,
but
could you
hey,
imagine
you never
that?
know.
Yeah, the Vernal Oilers, U.S. Premier Hockey League,
All right, there
junior
we go.
league. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, that would
Yeah.
be a great story if you had somebody make the NHL or even the KHL, or even
Oh yeah,
AHL, ECHL. One of those minor league teams that, hey, where'd you learn to play hockey?
exactly. Yeah,
This island right off
and
the coast of Argentina.
it'd be totally insane.
Yeah, this island that,
We
about
dream about
40
it.
years ago, Margaret Thatcher had to send a bunch of warships down here to protect. So it's
Yeah,
yeah.
and now we're playing ice hockey. And
Yeah, now we're playing ice hockey. So can you imagine if the Junta Argentinians took over? Y'all be playing no hockey there right now. Who knows?
yeah, hey man, we actually play in our regional tournament in Padrones. There's a few teams from there's a team from Rio Grande and a couple of teams from Ushuaia and around about the place, and they quite often come down and compete, and we play with them and train with them and stuff. And when we went to Miami the first time, there was an open training like camp beforehand, and we were training. Our whole team like joined in because they're like, we need the ice time, we need the ice time. So that's like we all joined in, and it was us and a lot of the Colombian team, and most of the Argentinian team. So there's like these three countries all like, and obviously hey, we've got history like the Falklands and Argentina, we do. But like it just didn't matter at all. No one even like
No.
it never came up. Like it was just a thing. We just like, oh, you're from the Falklands, cool. What's that like? And talking about where people were from in Buenos Aires and places like that. And it's very cool. So like we've got some of my best friends I've made in hockey are in Ushuaia. And
No,
I
it's great.
keep in touch with them
But I
regularly.
mean,
It's cool. It's a nice it's a great icebreaker and a great leveler playing a game like hockey. Like it's such a close knit community that it just doesn't that stuff like that doesn't matter.
no,
It's
it
really
doesn't.
cool.
And I'm sure there's probably a generation that doesn't really know about the Falkland War, or is that still kind of in the memory of a lot of people?
No, it's pretty prevalent.
Okay.
In like it's taught in schools and stuff. Like it's same as here, like we all know about it. It's part of our history, fairly recent history, and it's taught in schools. So yeah, I mean everyone knows about it, but the level of interest is quite varied. Like some are very keen and keen to know what it's like and stuff. Other people can be quite hard line, but that's typically very like the number of people here our age that are like hard line. The number's very tiny. Most people are just kind of hey, they're just trying to pay the bills and make sure they got enough like electricity to to keep the house warm and feed the cat, and they're doing the stuff like they're not like aliens. They're just normal people like the rest of us. We're all just the same. So it's really nice to meet people without there being that lens of like politics, history,
Yeah,
and we
no,
just play
you're
the
absolutely
game.
right.
And,
You're here to
and
play
it's
hockey.
a great way to. Yeah,
because
and we had some tough games against them. Like we beat last time I played there. We played the local teams called Nyrees, and we beat them in the final. It was a tight game, really tight, and we all went out like to the bar afterwards. We went out drinking, and I was out till like 2 a.m. with these guys, and we had an amazing time. We were all swapping shirts and having a great time. We were in this bar, and we were hanging shirts on the rafters of this place, and that was awesome. Like we
yeah,
just had a wicked time.
yeah, that sounds like the type of experience you expect from playing in some of these tournaments, especially internationally. So that's great to hear.
Yeah, right.
Great to hear. I just have one question. When does it get dark in the Falkland Islands? I'm pitch black.
But this time of year?
Yeah, this time of year, like 10 o'clock.
Oh, like yeah, around 10. I mean, we're at pretty much the peak of like daylight now. So
Yeah,
I mean, it's only like just coming up to 8 now.
yeah,
So yeah, we've got maybe another hour of pretty good daylight, and then it gets pretty twilighty.
yeah.
But no, I mean, in the winter it's dark.
Oh yeah. No, like, well, it's just kind
but
of
we're
like
not that far south.
it's kind of like New York City. It probably gets dark around 5, and then Indiana, we're sort of
Yeah.
we should be Central Time Zone, but we're East. I don't know why. Uh, we may get
Okay.
dark around 9:30 during the summer, which would be June and July would be
Yeah, sort of similar.
the similar thing. So, but yeah, no,
Yeah, we're probably on about the same. Probably on about the same latitude. I mean, we're the same latitude as well. Europe is like London's the same latitude as us, so that's like I guess that's like New England kind of latitude for you guys.
yeah,
Kind of that straight across,
also,
pretty much. It's
yeah,
always higher than I think.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the East Coast, New England, which is those 6 states. Which I did a trivia question, and I was with a team of people. I'm the only person who could name the New England states. Nobody knew it. I'm like, really? You don't know the New England states? We're all Americans. What's the matter with you? But I don't know. I
I'm
was
not sure I could, but like,
well, I understand you can't, but it's I could also name the maritime provinces of Canada, which I would expect nobody to know that in the US. So yeah,
sure, sure.
I've always been fascinated with geography, and I used to study maps as a kid, so I kind of know certain things. And my dad used to work for Eastern Airlines, so he took me all over the world. We
Oh,
went to
cool.
Europe. I did a lot of South American trips where when my brother was younger, he
Yeah.
did a lot of Europe and yeah, mostly European trips. So it's my dad's 93. He still wants to travel. He can't move around like he can. Buenos Aires is his favorite city because it reminds him of Europe, but without the price. He's a big soccer fan. So
Okay. Wow. Is he going to watch the football this weekend
yeah,
or
he's an
soccer? I should
Argentina
say.
guy. He's an Argentina guy. So
Oh, wow.
he's rooting
Excellent.
for
It's going to
them.
be a good game.
It should be a good game. I think France is the better team, but I'll be pulling for the Argentinians. Hopefully they can
Yeah.
pull it
I
out.
mean,
It's going to be
it's
tough.
hard, Like it's going to be. It doesn't matter which way it goes. It's going to be tough. I think the French are the more kind of poised team. I
Yeah.
think they've got more like they're very controlled. You saw it against Morocco yesterday. They were very controlled, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty. That's a cup winner's kind of like confidence and like that real not being phased by anything. I've got a feeling they're going to struggle to maintain that composure against the feisty Argentinian forwards and stuff. So Messi gets involved, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well,
It's going to be an exciting. It's going to be an exciting game.
yeah. No, it definitely will be. Is soccer popular on the Falklands? Do people play it?
Yeah, very much so. I
Okay.
mean, until hockey kind of became one of the most popular sports, football was very much the popular sport. It's still very popular. There's a good football club here, and there's a lot of a very good winter five-a-side indoor like futsal type club.
Yeah, so
So I should say soccer, right? Because otherwise people are going to get confused.
soccer. Yeah. Well, we know.
yeah.
England's the nation that came up with the word soccer. It's not our fault. Yeah, it isn't. They're the ones who called it soccer.
Hey.
It's proven. Okay, but yeah, we call it. Yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah. So the way I tell people, like American football, that should have been called American rugby, but for some reason we called it
Sure.
football and we called association football soccer. So we got things mixed up.
Yeah.
So like the NFL should have been the National Rugby League. That the American.
That would make kind of more sense.
Because that's pretty much rugby, and they introduced the forward pass and the hash marks and yards and all that stuff, and they changed it to our game.
Yeah.
And I always tell kids kids who don't know that are young, what's rugby? It's football with no padding. That's what I tell people. So,
it's football, but for people who are totally insane.
Right. So yeah, exactly. So you're saying hockey and soccer, or you're saying hockey is just as popular on the islands with soccer, with participation and following?
Yeah, I think that now. Yeah, I think so. Certainly with I mean, the interesting thing about hockey is like you can't. It's so easy to pick up a ball and just kick it around and play a quick game of hockey. And that's not hard. Hockey requires a bit more kind of. You got to get a goal, and you got to have stuff and sticks and pucks, and you got to have the gear. And so as we've grown as a club and had more and more people play, and other people kind of come into it and then come out and then kind of come back. And so there's more and more people floating around who kind of play a bit of hockey. So we're seeing it more and more like pick up. It's certainly by a long way the second most popular sport.
Yeah.
Or possibly, weirdly, the second most popular sport might be darts.
Darts. Okay.
We're very keen on darts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's dark in the winter, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
Good
at the
indoor
pub, you're having a
winter
couple pints.
sport.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Darts is very popular. I spent a long time when I was younger playing darts. Like,
wow.
This is what you did.
What about cricket?
Like when I was a kid, we all played darts.
Yeah. Okay. What about cricket? Is that played on the island?
Yeah, a bit. We've got a cricket club that's getting quite popular. They're just building, along with the National Sports Council, they're building the first oval there, first cricket oval. It's popular. Lawn bowls, and the carpet bowls, has become really popular as well. So yeah, there's quite a lot of sport here. We're lucky as a small isolated nation. We're very sporty. I think it's because there's nothing else to do. What else are we going to do? We're not going to go to the theatre or go to. No, we have got a cinema now, built 4 years ago. But what else are you going to do if you're not going out? You want something to do. You want to hang out with your friends, but you want to have an activity. And you can't really go and watch sport, so you can't go and go to a football game or go to a hockey game or go to whatever. Right. So you got to play.
That's a great way of looking at it. Yeah, you're involved. Like I said, my buddies and I, we play kickball. We'll do that. We may play 3 different nights. We may play double headers, hour a game. Some of us will play flag football, softball, which is baseball with a big ball. Then we play dodgeball in the winter, which you just throw a ball at people to try to get them out. I think that's going on right now. I have friends who have a league that should be starting up in an hour. So but the games, we also have college football. We have the Indianapolis Colts. We have the Indianapolis Pacers, Indiana Pacers. We have minor league hockey here, so we can also go to events. So could you imagine if you took away all those sporting activities, we'd be playing every night, doing something.
Yeah, and you do we in the right time of year, in the winter for us playing hockey, right? So is when we play here, and I'll be playing hockey 2 or 3 times a week. My wife plays netball a couple of times a week.
I know netball.
Do the States play netball?
Netball is not popular at all. There may be some niche market that plays it, kind of like handball. There's a place in Chicago.
Yeah, kind of.
But netball is an odd sport. It's almost like the original rules of basketball. I've watched it a few times.
Very much so.
Yeah,
it's very popular in the UK and here, and in Australia and New Zealand. Are very, very keen on netball. It's I guess a colony thing.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I shouldn't dig about that. It probably is a colony thing.
Yeah, except the United States, one of the colonies, many, many years ago, 150 years ago, we stopped playing.
Yeah, but you guys famously left. You guys had a fight. You fought about that.
Which is funny. Here we call it the American War of Independence, and then in England, it's I think they call it something else. It's I don't know. I don't know if they make us look as good as we.
Yeah, did. I probably spun in a different way.
George Washington. George Washington, Madison, Adams, Jefferson, Franklin, all these founding fathers. They may not be looked upon that nice, but it's odd because it's eventually we could have been like Canada. We could have had the Queen or King on the money and could have had probably would have had the same type of accent we have now, but it's and then
I think it is sorry, go on.
Yeah, but we do have a lot of American citizens questioning our history as well, because it wasn't fair for all of us, but my wife included. So, but that's another argument for another day. It's a sports topic. So, but this has been a blast. I had a great time, and every time I get on YouTube, I like to see what the Falkland Islands look like, what to do. I don't know if I'm ever going to make it down there. That's a little bit of because it's about.
You should.
It's how easy is it? Where do I fly where would I have to fly to Punta Arenas? Is that what we're talking about? From
Yeah, if you're flying commercially, the best way is to come to South America. So if you
yeah,
can get to Santiago in Chile is the kind of
okay.
hub for that, and then you go
Oh,
to
so I can
hop
fly
down
to
to Punta Arenas,
Santiago.
and then there's
Okay, that's right. That's right.
yeah, and then there's a flight to Santiago. The flight goes to Santiago to Punta Arenas,
Yes.
stops for refueling and stuff, and then comes over.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but Punta Arenas is worth a visit as well. Like it's a very cool town,
Oh no, no, no. Yeah, no.
city, I should say.
Yeah, no, no.
Um,
That's what people. I was reading something like you can hang out in Punta Arenas for a few days, and that's once a week, correct? That flies in, so you spend a week in
yeah,
like.
it's on a Saturday.
Okay, and then there's a lot of great.
I mean, there's easy enough stuff to fill a week.
Yeah, no,
I
I
mean, a
hear
week in
you.
the Falklands is just like nothing.
Yeah, no, and there's a lot of great seafood too on the islands that I'm hearing.
There is. We have some really good seafood from our deep sea like fishery stuff. But I think yeah, I mean, probably our biggest thing is like we eat a lot of squid. Squid's our thing,
Nice.
like calamari.
Yeah.
So
I
if you
like
go
that.
to Spain, most of the calamari you eat in Spain will be Falkland Island squid.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, something like 75% or something insane.
Wow.
Um,
Is just Spain,
yeah, so we got a big Spanish fishing.
or is that okay? Spanish
Uh,
fishing. Yeah.
yeah, so a lot of the Spanish fishing fleets come here, or there's a Spanish they partner with local companies, and then we've got like there's quite a big Far Eastern market as well in Taiwan. So a lot of Taiwanese squid is from here as well.
Nice.
So yeah, it's yeah. Hey, you got to be famous for something, right? So
No, no,
apparently for us, it's squid.
I never knew you guys support. You guys supplied a lot of squid. Anything else you guys supply that I'm not aware of that come from the islands?
Oh, I mean, I think squid and hockey is pretty much the
Yeah,
weirdest things we do.
nice.
Or the most unexpected, most unexpected.
Most
Um,
unexpected. Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, our we do a lot of. I mean, we do farming and stuff as well, so we do quite a lot of meat and things. So we, yeah, we're gradually diversifying into more and more stuff, but yeah, it's we're pretty we do a lot of fishing because a lot of our economy is
Yeah.
fishing.
Yeah.
So we spend a lot of time thinking about that and working with that. So and tourism, of course.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We were just I was just teaching some of my students about the pros and cons about tourism, and I brought up the Falkland Islands. It's you get to see someplace new, but then some people, when you visit are like, hey, this is great that people are coming to visit because we make more money and we have hotels and restaurants and they spend money there. And then, some of the negatives is that you get a lot of people visiting your island and you just want some peace and quiet. So it's
Yeah, I mean, we can in the town, especially like we can have it today. There's a fairly big ship in, but not massive. But it was a couple of thousand people. But we've had it before where I mean, the population of the town's like 3,500 on a good day,
yeah,
right? On a big day, and we've had 10,000 tourists come ashore on a day before. So
10,000.
it's just like, yeah, yeah. This is before COVID, but like we'll get those numbers again, I'm sure. But
Oh,
like it's just insane. It's like going to Disneyland. You turn up, there's literally you come out of work and there's people everywhere, and then you think it's a theme park. It's so bizarre.
yeah, it's just I'm just telling you, like, the little kid in me, just that's what I was kind of thinking, like, hey, it's this island where everybody speaks English. I want to go there, you know. Where
Yeah,
do
and
most
it's cool. It's a cool
yeah,
place.
where do most people they come from England or do they come from other parts of South America?
Kind of all over. We get quite a lot of English tourists. We get quite a lot of German tourists as well.
Yes. I see that.
It's all cruise passengers, so it's all like
Oh,
typically it's older.
cruise.
Yeah, it's all cruise ships. Yeah, mostly. So that sort of thing. So so the kinds of tourists we get are either like cruise passengers, and they tend to be older. There's quite a lot of Chinese, quite a lot of Japanese, a lot of Americans and Canadians.
Hmm.
And Europeans is probably the big part of the mix. Quite a few Argentinians as well, and Brazilians and stuff on some of the cruise vessels, depending on the route they take. But the other side of tourism is like that's there's a kind of real niche wildlife photography kind of filmmaker type vibe. There's quite that's
Ecotourism.
our kind of other
Yeah.
strong kind of eco kind
Tourism.
of
Tourism.
photography is
Yeah.
the kind of other big one.
Yeah. Yeah. I just studied that too with the kids and I think most of the kids focused on the Brazilian rainforest going to take ecotourism. Nobody said Falkland Islands. I didn't even think
Yeah,
about that. So
yeah. I mean, Yeah, I've been to the rainforest. It's pretty
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, no, I can hear you. Okay, I hear you. But all right, well, Sam, I appreciate you coming on. This was a great interview, and it's good to get to
All
nice
right.
to know a little bit about the Hockey Association. Where can people find you if they want to go online just to kind of check things out?
So our hockey webpage is hockey.co.fk. So it's FK at the end, Falklands. And on Facebook, we're the Falkland Islands Hockey Association. So if you look up Falkland Islands Hockey, that will come up. And I was about to say what our Twitter handle was, and I've now forgotten,
Okay.
uh, which is really bad. I'm pretty sure it's Islands Hockey. But again, Falkland Islands Hockey, and you'll find us on pretty much any platform.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you go to Islanders hockey, you're going to get the New York Islanders. So nothing.
No,
Yeah.
Falkland Islands Hockey or Falklands
Yeah.
Hockey is pretty
Yeah.
good.
Let
Yeah.
let me see. It's
I mean,
it's
hey, I didn't want to say this
Hockey
earlier,
Island.
but
Yeah. It's called Hockey
Hockey Island, there
Island.
we go.
Yeah, hockey. I'm going to follow you right now. I'm going to do that. So, all right. Well,
Oh,
Sam,
awesome.
I'll let you enjoy the rest of your day. It's 8:10 p.m. right there, so you still have some
It is.
sunlight. So any plans for tonight?
I have to
Taking
go.
it easy, taking it easy with the wife, or
Yeah, I've got to feed my chickens and do the living the good life. Go and water my vegetables. We're very lucky. We have quite a good bit of land in the town, so we've got a little bit of subsistence stuff going on, which is
nice.
very common here. Like it's very
Yeah.
popular. Yeah, we do
Oh, well,
grow a lot of stuff.
it's popular. It's popular here, but I can definitely see that being a way of life. Yeah, having a chicken coop and then getting those fresh eggs and going out to your
Oh
garden.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds nice. Yeah, all natural, no preservatives.
Yeah, it's very zen. Like it gives you it's good it's all good vibes, you know. And it's
Yeah.
hey, there's a lot of kind of bad stuff around globally at the moment. So wherever you can get some good vibes is always
Okay.
it's always nice.
All right. Well, I wish you the best of luck with the association.
Yeah,
When you guys get your rink
thank you
built,
very much.
let me know if you want to shoot some videos, put them up on YouTube.
Absolutely.
That'd be great as well. So I appreciate the
Yeah, definitely. No,
conversation.
we'd love to.
All right. Sounds great. All right, Sam.
Awesome. That's been wicked, Mark. It was lovely to meet you, and yeah, I guess we'll see you around.
Yeah. We'll see you
Hopefully, you'll be
around.
down soon.
What one day, somebody invited me out to New Zealand. I had a guest from New Zealand, and we talked about baseball. He wants me to come out there to sing the national anthem, but badly. So he said he'll put me up in the tent at the ballpark if I can do that. So we'll see if that happens.
Hey, if you make it here, you don't have to worry about anywhere to stay. Just give us a call. Like
All right.
we'll put you up. It'll be fun.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you. All right, that was Sam. Actually, I just finished about a 5 hour conversation with Sam. It is now 1 o'clock in the morning. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just finished about maybe a 20-minute conversation with Sam. His younger son came up, was going to bed. It is it's still daylight out there. His kid's going to bed. It's 8:30 p.m. in the Falkland Islands, 6:30 here, Indiana, which is Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. Miami time, Boston, Charlotte, not Chicago time. So yeah, and his son comes up and he's like, "Daughter, I got some nice toothpaste." So I found that kind of interesting. Yeah, I tell you, I really enjoy that. I've been trying to get Sam on here for a few months, and finally, after bugging him, I'm not bugging him, just sending him a couple emails, he agreed to come on. The logo that the association uses. Probably may have to write a story about that on Stadium Journey. I find that fascinating that here's this dead logo from 2009 was rechristened a few years after for the league. I don't know if it started I don't know when he said the league started in 2006. So I don't know when they adopted the logo, but he was wearing the jersey. So if you're watching this via YouTube, yeah, you are definitely saw the logo. So the Jersey Rockhoppers, I made some errors. I said they play in the Federal Hockey League. They play in the Eastern Professional Hockey League. I don't know if that became the Federal Hockey League. I tell you, I remember this league, but I don't remember being called the Eastern Professional Hockey League. So they played with Brooklyn, Danbury, and Hudson Valley. And I guess they played only 1 year. And like I said, they played at the Richard J. Cody Arena, which held about 2,500. I want to say that's the practice site for the Devils. Yeah, that's a practice site. And yes, it's the South Mountain Arena. Okay, so it's not called the South Mountain Arena. Well, that's why you're confusing me. And New Jersey actually finished with a 32-16 and one record for 66 points. They finished second in the league. Did they win the championship? Yeah, they won the championship. They won the first ever EPHL championship, the 4-1 victory over the Brooklyn Aces at the Aviator Arena in Brooklyn, New York. Jersey prevailed in game 3 after dropping the first 2. So I'll do some research on this league, and I'll do a little story on it because I like how it's the same exact logo. I was trying to be nice. I'm like, yeah, that looks like the Jersey Rockhoppers, which how many freaking people know the Jersey Rockhoppers? This is why it was picked. The Rockhoppers name was chosen by the team's owner after a name the team contest. Owners decided on an animal name. Co-owner Igor Morchek. I don't know if I'm saying that right. We think that the Rockhoppers make a nice match and is identifiable with grace, agility, and aggressive nature compared to other penguins. And here I am saying that it was named after the Rockhoppers that were at the zoo. I want to say I heard that, but I could be wrong. So, yeah. So we'll do some research on the Rockhoppers. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed deviating away from baseball today. That was about an hour conversation. I'm kind of following what Ed Rivera does on the Dad Hat Chronicles. He's talking to other people outside of baseball. I do like baseball. This will be the bread and butter. I would say 98% of the time. That's what we'll talk about. But, I can't talk with somebody from the Falkland Islands about baseball because I don't think anybody's playing baseball there. So, for example, right now, if you listen to the Dad Hat Chronicles, he has talked to Marco Myers of the Norfolk Admirals. Falkland Islands, Norfolk Animals. I'm sorry, the Falkland Islands, Norfolk Admirals. Oh, God, tongue twisters. He's also talked to Connor Kalo. I can't pronounce it. Connor Kaloia of the Ford Madison FC. That's a soccer team. And Steven Shatola of the Jacksonville Sharks, which is an arena football team. Also Austin Bruins. So he's talking to hockey people. I could talk to hockey people, right? Yeah. Who's stopping me? I could do what I want. It's my podcast, not yours, but mine. Not yours, but mine. A little Brandy and Monica there from 1998. And then, of course, if you do want to listen to just baseball and baseball only, you can check out Mr. Paul Caputo on Baseball by Design, stories of the minor league logos and nicknames. Fred Nats is his latest podcast. That's a 58-minute one. Binghamton Rubble Ponies, Greensboro Grasshoppers, Erie Seawolves. And then you can listen to Anna, Buckethead Podcast. She does baseball as well. I don't think she does anything outside of baseball. I can't tell you exactly what. I don't know what's Anna doing. Well, I can't tell you. I don't have that information in front of me. Let's see, Anna Bucketheads, baseball Bucketheads. I'm typing this as we go. Buckethead Baseball. You can go to her website. That's not Buckethead. Something else. Why can't I follow this? Hold on. Baseball in Greenland. Okay, maybe that's a future. Maybe I'm spelling it wrong. Bucketheads. Oh my goodness, why is this so difficult to find on? Oh, here it is. Anna, okay, I found her Twitter page. Baseball bucket list. Okay, I'm doing Bucketheads. People that listen to her are the Bucketheads, but it's not called. It's the baseball bucket list. She's talking to Jeremy Kahneman on McGuire's 70th home run. She's also planning a tour to Alaska. I don't know if I'm going to do that. It's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a lot of money. I'm cheap. She also talks to Tom Geary, pick up baseball, Old Yankee Stadium, and being Scotty Smalls. So she's talking to the actor who played Smalls from The Sandlot. So that should be fun. I may listen to that after this show. So, in order for me to do that, I'm just going to have to say goodbye. Yeah, she talks to Smalls, you know? He's from Trenton, New Jersey. Cool. All right. Hey, guys, I'm going to listen to that podcast. You should do as well. You can also listen to my other podcast. You can listen to them on any baseball podcast or any podcast aggregator. Just type in Ballpark Hunter podcast and you'll find it. So until next time, my friends, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Check out my stories on the new improved stadium journey. And check me out on YouTube. I'm up to 1,500 subscribers. Exciting times. And I'm monetized. So I'm making like a robust $16 right now. So I need more people to check out my stuff. So guys, take it easy and stay safe. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. Adios, guys. Ciao, as they say in Argentina.